a rescue team from Acuna, Mexico has crossed the border into Texas to help flood survivors.
We're talking about dozens of firefighters coming all the way from Acuna, Mexico. And together with other agencies here in Ingram, they've been helping with disaster relief. And it was this morning when they recovered a body. Working with Mountain Home Volunteer Fire Department, crews recovered the body of an older man. Firefighter Jesus Gomez says his team was digging through the mangled mess of debris along the Guadalupe River when they found the body. These Mexican firefighters have been on the ground since Friday when flash floods raged through the hill country. As the waters have receded, we've seen what remains: massive piles of destruction, torn up trees, cars, and trucks destroyed.
And one of the biggest stories that no one's talking about is that two Mexican girls sacrificing or trying to actually put their own lives on the line went out and saved 20 American citizens.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
As floodwaters swallowed South Texas, destroying homes, communities, and lives, over 100 people were confirmed dead, including children. Cities like Laredo, Eagle Pass, and Mission were left in ruins as the Guadalupe River surged uncontrollably, sweeping away anything in its path. While the governor of Texas appeared on television saying his hands were tied and resources were limited, and while President Trump remained silent, choosing golf over action, help came from a place many didn't expect across the border. A rescue team from Acuna, Coahuila, Mexico, known as Protección Civil de Bomberos de Acuna, mobilized quickly. These were not symbolic gestures or diplomatic moves. This was real help. Firefighters, canine units, and volunteers crossed into Texas, ready to assist with boots on the ground. They brought the experience they had gained from years of training in dangerous water conditions on the Rio Grande and committed to staying until every last victim was found.
Imagine hating on a group of people who risked their lives to help a country who was persecuting their people. And I'm making this video because it's not really being talked about in the media, but first responders from Mexico touched ground in central Texas yesterday where the floods were happening. And the reason why these firefighters chose to come here and help is because they have the expertise with this level of rushing water from training in the Rio Grande. And these firefighters have committed to staying here until every victim is found. And while firefighters from another country volunteered to come here to help save Americans, the American POTUS was too busy playing golf and too busy having our military put on this weird show in the middle of MacArthur Park in Los Angeles today. I mean, just look at this. These are service members that could be deployed to Texas to help save Americans, but instead, they were sent to a park to put on some weird show. And just a quick reminder, this isn't the first time, because when the wildfires happened all over Los Angeles earlier this year, Mexican firefighters also came, risked their lives to help us.
A big shout out to those firefighters that came from Mexico that saved them people in that river flood in Texas in the forest and all. Now, you people got so much stuff to say about Latinos and Hispanics, but you have the Mexicans that came all the way from Mexico to save these people, not to mention that put out that fire in Texas and that big flood they had also and saved them people from that flood. So give a big thanks to them firefighters that came from Mexico. Without them people wouldn't have been saved. And they had been dead. And you people got so much stuff to say about Latinos and Hispanics and all. You should be thanking them. You should be giving them awards, gifts and all. They should be given a trophy, some medals. Like, come on now. And you people speak bad about immigrants. You don't want them here. They're taking their jobs and all this. No, they're doing the jobs that we don't do. You should give these immigrants credit and thanks.
From across the river, from a town with fewer resources than most American cities, these men showed up with courage, training, and heart, ready to wade through debris, risk their lives, and bring people home. This is what it means to be Mexican, to be brave, to be helpful, to show up when it matters. The rescue team comes from Acuña's Fire and Civil Protection Department. First responders trained to face the deadly currents del Rio Bravo. And now, those same skills are saving lives in Texas. To all of my fellow Americans, let this be a reminder. While people in power sling hate, build walls, and turn communities against each other, Mexico answered the call. No hesitation, no resentment, just courage and compassion. These men didn't ask who was Republican or Democrat. They just asked who needs help. So to all of my fellow Mexican Americans, be proud of your blood. This is our legacy.
As we are actively taking their people of their heritage, Latina, Latinx people primarily, and putting them in concentration camps, they are sending help to one of the reddest states who hates people the most. Go figure. Go freaking figure. It's amazing. So thank you, Mexico, for being the bigger people in all of this. And I'm sorry, from an American who hates everything about that's happening and who's fighting it, I'm very sorry. But thank you for still helping our people.
Meanwhile, ICE continues to arrest hardworking car wash employees, restaurant workers, farm workers, all from Mexico, and throw them into makeshift prisons and then deport them back to Mexico or other countries. But yesterday, Mexico has sent over the border several rescue aid workers, and they are currently helping people in Texas. They're helping recover bodies. They're helping rescue people. They're helping to fix situations, make things better for the Americans in Texas affected by this horrific flood. Have you heard Trump mention one word of Mexico helping us?
Now, these aren't just photos. We're talking boots on the ground with local firefighters, canine units, and other state agencies. This is a prime example of choosing humanity over borders. And I think it's very important that we continue to share this story so that we can celebrate real help while it's in action.
In one of the most powerful stories that's barely being covered by mainstream media, two young Mexican women, just 20 years old, risked their lives to save 20 American children from being swept away in the floods. They didn't wait for orders. They didn't need recognition. They just saw the suffering and responded. That act alone should be front page news, and yet most people haven't even heard about it.
These two 19-year-old girls are heroes, and they deserve to be recognized, okay? When everything started, there was just rain and panic, okay? These two wrote every last girl's name on their arm just in case they didn't make it, so that they would be identified. How smart is that? And how many people could do that in the midst of crisis? Silvana Valdez and Maria Zarate. They were in charge of 20 girls on that day. They had no parents, no power, no signal on that day. But instead of flipping out, they stayed calm. They also stayed brave, and they started to move the girls to higher ground. But see, in the midst of all of this, they did not give up hope. They sang to the girls. They even played games, but most importantly, they prayed with them. Every single one of those girls survived. Do you hear me? All heroes don't always wear uniforms, okay? Y'all, Silvana, Maria, say their names because they deserve it.
Two young Mexican girls, 20 years old, have put their lives on the line to save 20 U.S. citizen children. That's something that should be going viral. People should be talking about that. Prayers to those two young, brave girls should be given 100-fold.
So, before this story gets buried under political noise, it deserves to be seen, shared, and remembered. Because when disaster struck, it wasn't power or policy that saved lives. It was the people, the neighbors, who chose to cross a border not for themselves, but for someone else. Gracias, Mexico. And to those brave young women, thank you.